any German speakers out there, hit the translation. Maybe it's just us hearing German voice. That's a weird problem.
I was frantically typing there to say we could hear the in-game chat, but that's not the case. We'll have to work on that. I'm actually going to...
Have a chat.
Yeah.
Have a little. Give him a nod. Right. I'll jump into this one because I can speak about Element all day long because this player is someone who just caught our attention. What is that crosshair? Holy. That's a little chunky monkey crosshair right there. But Nuki's already gone and found AKM, so that's an avenue opened. Unco's going to be in a bit of a spot of bother here. They seem aware of it, but I wonder if they're going to check the corner if they assume that it goes all the way to the edge of it. Feeling the pressure now starting to mount, though good enough positioning. You can see the crossfire with Element going to come in. Unco is still unknown, so this is still going to be a factor if they commit this way. It's a heavy lean now. Let's see if that Killjoy catches the rotation through middle. We spin on over, might catch a glimpse or not. Enough that they're posted up towards Connector. That is a Guardian skin I did not recognize. I was like, what is that for a second? But there we go. There's the Guardian. Hello, of over. How's that feeling? Now that's going to give away the game. They should hit that rotation pretty soon because now all that utility poured forward and Only can only do so much. There's only so much to be able to be done. It'd be nice to see them try and fall back, but maybe feeling that kind of lobby was compromised. But for now, still a dangerous round here.
Indeed. Unco now will find Nuki, and that brings Heretics down to 3, but not going to go down. Actually, Lowell in a really good position here, but there you go. The double swing too strong from OG on this retake, and actually Rubino going to find 2 kills for himself, brings it down to a 1v1. He has the Hunter's Fury, but needs to reposition if he wants to rely on that in this scenario. See now, actually, yeah, he's going to pop it. First tag evades him, and actually he's going to pull it away. He does have the recon now, and important to note, there wasn't a half defuse come through there, so he's going to get the audio cue that it wasn't a half. He does catch it. The recon's going to ping out, going to give the information across to him that he came out of the smoke as well. Rubino playing this perfectly, but Unco swings, finds the kill, the 3rd on the round. Already got the half defuse, so that will come through with ease. Really nice play there from Unco.
Not anymore. Yeah, that was great play in the end. And I've got to say, Rubino honestly used full kit to try and take him off it, did everything he could. Sometimes it does come down to actually just hitting the shot at the end of the day, but I like the attempt using, like, being able to find these two was fantastic already, taking a little bit more of a aggressive lean to try and pick up one of the players, which you always have to do. You can't just win a standard 1v3 by sitting passive. No, gets proactive, I like that. But obviously on the other side, you had composure being maintained even after all that utility thrown at you. So 2-0 now. Heretics gonna be put to work here. This is what I want to see. I want to see the depth of Heretics now coming through. Heretics haven't gone without their kind of question marks besides some of their recent performances. So again, we look to see, okay, are they back on form? You know, LoL coming back in the roster is going to be a fantastic look for them. That always gets us excited. But at present, a bit more of a standard approach, leaning back towards B here. And it looks like a focus towards middle for the defensive side, but maybe just going to play retake, coming back towards B, depend a little bit more on that Killjoy utility to be the early indicator of the hit. Tvik's going to be over here, though, comfortable enough. Pora's found AKM, now Tvik's in trouble.
Come all the way back and play back so Onaby. Unfortunate not to catch that. His crosshair was actually placed right on him. Get an awful lot of damage off through it, though, but an advantage to Heretics. Not going to force the issue, actually. Only be going to catch all of this information. You can hear the steps coming back through Link, so probably going to relay this rotation back over to his teammates over on A site. Unco actually with the counter paranoia. That's actually clean. He's going to find the one, though. Lowell will trail it out.
Left. Element's still here, though, boys. Oh, no. This shouldn't be a problem, man, but after those previous games, yes. Nice work with the Sheriff. Okay, we're down to 2. Good turn of events here for Heretics. Keeping 4 alive is actually pretty good for them as well.
Standing ahead.
Try and get this one building back favorably. Tvik going to try and work something out as he goes forward. Clearing the utility as he goes, trying to clear the more standardized corners. Use that last piece of utility, but Pora on the flank. Not going to get it. Sheriffs come out and about, and well, there we go. Collect yourself a couple of Spectres, some bits and pieces. Nothing too crazy, but the round on the board is the more important one.
It is, and actually, I mean, looking at it with a 2-1 scoreline, look at the economy for OG. They are not in a position to invest back into this. And on the flip side of that, Heretics are going to get 4 SMGs, 3,200 plus on 4 players of overall tapped out. But That's you don't often see that 2-1 scoreline after the round 2 conversion comes through.
Usually getting a little aggressive towards middle. I will always love seeing teams get more proactive on pistols. It's probably one of the best ideas you can do. I hate seeing just, default approaches. It never works well. Even if they just want to kind of try and get maybe a kill or two here or there, Tivic's going to try and aggressive a little, maybe make some progress towards mid. The backside of that. Unco could be the one. Have to be very cautious of that smoke, kind of play a little bit of credit towards it, and there we go. Does at least kind of keep an avenue open for them. No victims found yet. Spike being toyed. Rubino going to be tasked with getting that down, and it is. Spike now planted.
Oh, actually, look at this. So the double jump out. Okay, yeah, kills coming through thick and thin for OG here. Actually brings it down to a 3v2. 2 players tagged up though. Lol will find Tavik on the flank, but the diffuser's coming all the way through. He's got half red already.
The satchel! The satchel was so good.
It booped him off.
Bonked him off it. Yeah. So good. I mean, just keeping that composure to consider that as an option rather than going on the fight, because potentially he could have faked that. You don't know, and that could have been a lineup. I mean, Element almost had them on that second peak. But now, they're just, again, mayhem being caused. I like it. I love that. And there you go. You just saw it there. It just came in, allowing them that second to adjust. And sadly, AKM couldn't quite keep them safe long enough. But I said, great, quick reaction coming out from the Rays there.
Obviously, it was a scrappy buy back in for OG. But AKM now with the operator, which, yeah, is heavily discussed right now in terms of the damage to the economy. The AKM pretty much tapped out here, so Element actually making a play here forwards with the wall, going to get some B main control, and actually it's 4 members of Heretics, well 5 if you include Link, stacked up behind this. They are going to break through.
Sticking around for the fight.
Yeah.
You don't warp.
You don't
warp smokes.
No.
Oh, now you do. Now you absolutely do, but there you go. Forcing out the ult on the other side, going to keep them back again. Tavic's going to find Pora. That's a big little pickup, actually. Not bad. We'll take that. As OG now maintains structure here. They've kept map control. But look at the response.
I actually really like that play from OG. I'll talk about it after this round, but Nuki actually managed to get himself all the way through mid here. He's going to be behind this owl drone from Tavic. Element probably going to peek out onto it. There you go, a freebie for Heretics here to bring it back to a 4v4. Owl drone will tag Nuki, but Heretics will just reset once again.
30 seconds left.
Re-aggressing towards middle. Now, it does scare me that we do have that Omen down towards the lobby area. That's going to be a bit of an issue. Just because you can create a nice crossfire on the exit, there's one part of it, and yeah, he's got no one to worry about on the flank. He could just purely pay attention to that side. He doesn't know that, though. 13 seconds on the board, and there ain't much room to be had here. Tavik on the side does well to find Rubino. That is the spike down and loose. Uncle tries to make the play. Lovely off angle for Lol there, just keeping that safe. 3 seconds too, whereas the spike gets down. 2v2 now. Lol on the swing gets found, and now the 1v2 begins. Vova can't do enough. AKM finding the valuable shots at the end with that op.
Just to talk about this push early on from OG, I love it. It's a 3-man stack over on this site. The Vic playing back on stairs with the Hunter's Fury ready, so they literally want to get pushed there. The paranoia comes through. As soon as the paranoia gets thrown into B main, the Vic pops his Hunter's Fury, and right there, it's one of those scenarios where you can literally tunnel the enemies in and try and maximize the effectiveness of that Hunter's Fury. So I actually really like that proactive play there. Element throws the wall down again, baiting that contact. They want to get pushed there. Yes, it only equates to 1 kill. But still, even there, I love it being proactive.
Weird buys coming out. Let's see what we do with them. I love this early battle. It just shows how key some of that information and fact finding is. Here we go. Sinatra cosplay in action. Just spamming away. A lot of bad choice. Look at the amount of pressure that they've put towards one side, but now you've got the play up middle coming through. They've got to be aware this is open. It's a 4-1 split. That raise is going to be a problem towards B. Waiting and connector now. It does seem as though the Aldron's given that game away. There could be a player coming through, so you're going to have to sit safe to that. But this is such an interesting hold from OG. Very unique in approach.
Crossfire here from Logs and Lane. Poor actually looking as if he's toying with the idea of the lockdown. He's got to be careful because Tavic's weapons already noted, and Know how easy it is to cancel out that lockdown here in B main.
Scanning ahead.
Uh-oh. Spamming away. Chip damage could have come through. Doesn't do as much as expected. No problem.
You should run.
And there we go. Killjoy ult coming in. Does it get destroyed yet? You can see the spam on it. And it's still going to be going through. Rubino has found one as well on the approach. And it looks like Heretics will be getting into this now. Tavik's kind of in all kinds of trouble. He can't do too much about it. And a good attempt to try and take it down. It looked on, but not to be.
I'm not entirely sure myself how that didn't come down, but
Spike planted.
11 seconds left. Spike will go down. Heretics take control, and they're playing deep enough here that it's going to make it even more difficult for OG to try and retake this. Lockdown available, revive available, blade storm available, but going to need a kill now if they want to even attempt this. It looks like they're just opting to play exits for the time being.
Careful.
Try and do some damage. Nuki actually going to find AKM, and that's the operator down, so that's the worst of all of them to lose, to be quite honest with you. Element now, much left to do. Heretics will close this one out, and 4 will live, so convincing round win on the side of Heretics there. And again, I would like to know how he couldn't destroy the lockdown there, because
it looked so on,
it
right?
looked bang on.
I wish we could have seen that. Because as I said, he had the right spam in mind. It looked like he was spot on to it. But once, if you don't get it and you've been in that position under the assumption you're going to manage it, you can't back anywhere at that point. But for now, we're at 3-3 apiece. This is Heretics now kind of digging in a little bit. And we said earlier, OG's economy was a little hit and miss. So that could be something that's going to haunt them for a couple more rounds at this point. I'm seeing just kind of pistols coming out here. Show me something unique, though. Try and do a stack, maybe a gamble here or there. You can see a little kind of stack towards A. 2 players just kind of posted up. I'm not sure why it's not showing on the minimap. Maybe just an issue with one of the observers there. Who knows? But beyond that, though, this should be kind of par for the course. This should be a comfortable round for Heretics. And in these rounds, we always look for keeping the round clean.
There.
There is a bit of a danger in the form of those knives coming out, but not finding too much, really. And
oh, no. Just spammed out with the util there. Nuki and Pora combining to find that kill onto AKM, and that will shut down the Blade Storm. Res is available, potentially.
I mean, I like their previous crossfire towards the wall, but you can't maintain that, I guess, now that short's open, so you have to dismantle that. What can you do to do some damage to this? Again, this is what we say, you know, the check boxes are always keeping 5 alive, getting that spike down, doing everything you need. Now, at this point,
30 seconds left.
We'll look across. Ultimate's being invested. That should clear out. No, it doesn't clear out Element. He's still alive there. Bit of a nuisance. Tries to swing it off the contact. Does get a Vova, but now it's a 2-for-1 trade. Still pretty favorable. Spike to be planted. The other players, mostly coming through from heaven, probably not going to get much out of it.
Just only be left with Ghost in hand. And back-to-back headshots here if he wants to find them, but only managed to spam one out against Rubino. Heretics. Again, a convincing round win. 3 will survive here, and building a little bit of momentum in terms of economy. This is that kill we were talking about here. The Nano Swarm and the Paint Shell just giving AKM no options.
Thanks.
The fall on short.
Alarm bot out.
Did sound as if they have just invested back in an operator, though. Is that right? Yeah, AKM does have the operator once again, and this is the thing, man. It's a big investment, especially at this round score. It's 4-3, right? Unless you're finding loads of value off of that purchase, I don't want to see it coming out time and time again.
Yeah, I want to see how they use this, so I'm going to keep my eyes on that and see what they do with it, if there's something unique they have in mind. Right now, patrolling on short. I guess playing against not having a Cypher or anything like that. Right now, kind of, you used to be able to kind of put just, you know, the camera straight in to keep track of that lockdown short peek completely. But, as said, Nuki's been trying to get a little aggressive here. We've seen this a couple of rounds in a row. That pressure up middle, trying to exploit through the connector, been noted this time. You're not going to get away with it anymore. And look at that aggressive stack again. The conditioning coming out from OG, I like it, even if it's a bit precarious.
It's a risky res for Lowell to go to. Ronko actually going to push up over. You're holding fast on the wall as well. Element now got to do some work, but Pora will find him with ease, and there you go. Nuki now will get rezzed, and Tavik going to get pinched on sight. We'll find a headshot initially, but Nuki trades it.
And the others are locked out of the sight. AKM. I feel as though the way Heretics are playing, if you're not going to be proactive in middle and take that fight on Nuki or someone like that,
Exactly.
you're not going to be getting good value for this. You're not being on B when they're hitting those site hits, and honestly, they're pretty well considered site hits. These are exits right now. Unless you get another one pretty quickly, it doesn't fill my world with joy. So it's like, I'd love to see AKM be either braver on short, which is a riskier play, right? Or playing through middle, because they've been leaving this quite open. Now, obviously, that would create space on the rest of the map, but that's what you have to deal with having that up. I want someone proactive, Hypoc. I don't like passive AWPing. Very few people get away with, passive AWPing these days. You have to be super fluid around the map, various angles, keeping proactive, keeping the opposition on their toes.
Well, that's the other thing as well. When you're kind of locked in and cemented playing that short position, if they know you're there and they know you're not going to rotate off and peek somewhere else, that conditioning factor isn't an issue at all.
Yes.
Heretics can literally just say, okay, guys, lean away from mid. Like, yes, the stack's there on B for OG, but again, it came down to two awkward gunfights, I'll be honest. The wall breaks and Unco's got 3 people staring him down. You got to get something done with it. It's too much of an investment to just look for like exit kills. And right now he's 3 and 5, right? So he's not exactly lighting the world on fire.
No, I said, don't sit somewhere in between. AKM has to get a little proactive here, which is scary because they are checking on it. I mean, that turret's a huge problem to deal with. That's why I'd rather him play top mid. But it looks like a switch up of a different kind. It looks like Tavik's going to be towards middle, and you've got Sage behind, and it's a switch up here towards the halls, right? You've got Omen now sitting a little deeper on the site, a bit more passive. So maybe trying to set up a mid pinch, but at the moment, they still have to deal with the site hit coming in, only with the Spectre. Again, this is going to be very hard to deal with. Back and forth we go, it seems like, and as it stands, the wall's not going to work out. A bit awkward. But Unco's going to have to buy time. That is the main port of call for him here. I mean, I don't love this presence in middle still. I'd rather Tavik pushed up a little bit, try to get proactive. They're on the site, man.
Yeah.
It's like they're playing blind, a little late to respond to this. And if Tavik had carried on, there was a Sage already waiting on the other side, to be fair, which would have made it hard. Element trying to hit that fade away real quick on Pora, but not going to get it. Spike now down. A retaking with an op is traditionally incredibly tricky.
Yeah, OB actually going to swing out. AKM will find one as well, but again, he's the last man standing and will miss that one, and that's the operator off the cards for OG. Money-wise, again, it's not yet 4 ultimates, but I mean, that's a horrible buy. That's a horrible buy if you force back in here. Especially when you're looking at a 6-3 score. And
yep.
Heretics just in complete control right now, and it's once again it comes down to just a very, very vanilla default, right?
They're getting away with it.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
those all-in sight hits, no problem.
And there's absolutely no attempt to kind of challenge or find a gap in that default on the side of OP.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what I need to see, is that little bit more of like a little bit more proactive from them, right? Like, maybe not in this round, but I like the push towards middle, but it has to be with purpose. Like, Tavik, I think, did the right thing by pushing down towards the base of middle. Maybe they didn't have the full information on the B site by that point, but I was really hoping that we might get them kind of being a bit more proactive, try and box them in. You know, as said, Heretics are a hard team to face because traditionally their default's very strong, but they haven't been doing it so much. Nuki again, building towards middle. Having a little look around, just kind of get himself out of dodge, no worries there. And honestly, if you're Heretics, you're looking for a stack, right? You're trying to feel out, are they up to no good? If they got a secret plan in mind, AKM's got a plan, let's see if it's a good one. That thick boy crosshair. 3 Cs. Chunky.
Yeah, the Aldrine unfortunately going to spot out his position. He's got to burn his dash to get away from that and play his life a little bit. First time really OG have been positioned well enough towards Heretics leaning this side of the map. EP going to come out on top of Gen. AKM will cancel that one. And actually a Hunter's Fury in response here.
Oh, AKM. It's not been a good start. Onlybee's in a bad spot as well. Nuki's just walked on in and said, hey, this site's mine right now, so if you want to back away a little bit, that'd be cool. Avova keeping it safe too. And there we go, securing the third. It was against Sheriffs, but it was pretty. That's a terrible sentence, but you know what? I'm committing to it. It was pretty. 3-7 scoreline, anything but for the OG fans out there. Now, I said I really considered picking OG in this game Just because, honestly, their rise has been really impressive. It's been very much hard to ignore in the way they've kind of stepped up their game as of late after having a bit of a hiccup at the start. But we didn't know where we put them.
No.
Consistency is always the last thing to come to a good team. Now, maybe not here this time. Let's see what the switch up is. No op coming out this time around.
I mean, really,
Scanning ahead.
7-5 half against Heretics is nothing to turn your nose up on Ascent. Once again, this wall goes down inside B main to garner some control early round. Is broken, so that will keep a couple of the OG members focused on it. They can't turn a blind eye to it, but keep your eye on the minimap. Nuki and Lau once again exploring towards market, and this is a little bit of a gap on the side of OG's defense, to be honest with you, once take into consideration the way they've been playing A. Victor going to post up outside the door. And one thing I do like is there's no risk of these guys dying in B main through this push, so just relies on them getting kills, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on Tvik to keep that connector safe, and then the rest of the pressure falls on these two to get it right. Now, a deeper ultimate to clear this out, a great response, and there you go. Tvik's going to isolate Lol, and Unko's found Nuki, so that's at least dealt with that middle problem we were having build up. Now, that did take a good bit of timing to work out for them, and time being bought by that main push, but Avova's fought right back in. Element going down leaves Tvik pretty much in a bad spot here. Unko's going to get all the attention, so maybe Tvik... Oh, the angle. Rubino was there so quickly.
It's a 2v2.
Didn't expect that. And yeah, it is still a 2v2, but look at the HP left. It ain't nice.
Spike planted.
Well, actually, a response lockdown here from Owner beat. Oh, actually, he's going to go and try and destroy. As Pora swings out, AKM will trade the kill. Oh, he's on lane. 23 HP on Rubino. Can he get this done now? AKM's already crept up close here. As he drops, he's going to get the audio cue, but KM wins that one out. A little hesitation there. Didn't know exactly where the spike was, but the defusal comes through and should put a stop on Heretics' run for the time being. Like I said, 7-5 in my books. That's a win in the side of OG, considering how the first few rounds went. 5 rounds now. OG post an answer.
Honestly, I'm glad they found a bit of an answer there. Tvik's hold towards middle in the end just managed to keep control of it. I think Unko kind of joined in and helped him out at one point, but they had been getting kind of pushed around a little bit by that kind of mid presence, right? Like we've seen Nuki up there, we've seen everyone kind of taking their turn to go for a stroll. Now we have a bit of a switch up. It looks like they've read the at least early intent correctly by stacking out a couple more players. AKM going to take the early advance. I like that. Good play towards Avova. Isolate him. Fall away now. They've read the intentions well. They can still have their players' presence towards the other side of the map as well. So, if anything, this is a fantastic start for OG. We have to see if there's more in the tank now for Heretics operating at a player disadvantage.
Good there, and that's the sort of value you want to find it, especially when you know Heretics is just going to do this, like, just literally sway from one side of the map to the other. Trying to find some information. I mean, this time around, they're actually hanging around, trying to pressure around where OG have got this kill. Aura's going to find Tvik. AKM swings out of heaven, and Nuki's actually just going to immediately shut him down. So once again, Heretics immediately flipping that man advantage back in their favor.
And Spike going down now, uncontested. 21 HP on Pora is pretty low, but it's operational. But that's a problem now. Here we go. Suddenly it's all gone a bit Pete Tong. Lol's got the trade coming out. Rez is around. Up we go. Tvik's there. 3v3 now on the playback through. They still need the wall. Look at this flank coming in. This is going to be the biggest issue. Rubino around the back. 2 huge kills. And that has just completely displaced everything that was building. Rubino, again, putting up wonderful numbers. Unko can merely try and pick his poison. There is no good choice here. And Lol's going to put him out of his misery. But that flank from Rubino was just perfection.
Yeah, I mean, the timing on it was just on point. Again, you could see how aware Element was of the potential coming through there, but this one he doesn't catch anything in the first 2 seconds, turns a blind eye to it. Heretics 8-4 in the first half, a convincing attacking half for them, to be quite honest, and again, much of the same in terms of expectations. We know how Heretics like to play Ascent. That there was pretty much textbook Heretics, right?
pretty much. That was, you know, par for the course, it felt like. Now, scoreline-wise, though, 8-4 is still quite a commanding lead. Not sure. Again, OG are still a little bit of the unknown when it comes to what to expect from them on their attacks, and we don't know that full style yet to them, so we know the element's pretty good. It's just the rest, so we have to see if it's going to get, you know, maybe a little warmer in this game. Enough audio cues to give away the game here. 3-2 split towards A.
You gotta be careful. Again, the wall is on a timer, which is... Okay, I'm gonna opt to hop over the top of that. You gotta be careful. That second player posted inside the position's not noted right now over Vova. Luki will find Tavik though, drawing first blood.
Here.
Spike planted.
Down now. 5v4 post plant. You can see OG just battening down the hatches. Trying to create the crossfire. 4 players going to try and play back in here through Heaven. Now, actually, that's not bad from Element. Isolating Nuki's going to kind of keep all eyes turned now towards this. You can see the smoke's coming in to try and disperse some of that vision towards the top side. Hora's there, but not getting the start he wanted. This is going to become a bit scary now. OG getting pressure, but Unco's done well, but Pora on the quick trade. Fourth, we going down to a 1v1. And there it is. Only waiting below. Just had to be patient.
Really nice, actually. I mean, Heretics looked as if they wanted to brute force their way back through Heaven there. Set up from OG again. They're just waiting on this dropout. AKM can go a little bit aggressive. Unfortunately, really, looked like the turret did about 80 damage to Lowell there. Just completely ignored the entire time. Let's see what OG can do now. A little bit of investment coming back from Heretics as well. You can see they're going to force back in. They're fancying themselves here on the defense.
Yeah, this mid stack, is this going to be like a contact piece up middle? I kind of want to see how this looks like. There goes the Owl drone. It looks like they're going to burst after that potentially. Smoke's now gone. You got to do something with this, otherwise you're going to get caught in a bit of a blender down here. Hora's seen enough. Definitely going to make the call now. Get some support over that wall's going to keep him isolated, but he seems to still find one. AKM goes down, and there is a trade. This is still pretty sketchy.
Yeah, okay, I'm just a little bit ahead of his team there, so it's a 1-for-1. Right away, gee, I mean, we're making the right move here, pivoting right back towards A site, and you can see Heretic backed all the way off. We're anticipating this B hit. They should catch the audio cue now. Actually, the recon bolt going to give that one away. We'll get unopposed plant onto A. They're still wary of the possibility.
30 seconds left.
Planted.
Bino's got perfect audio cues until nice work from him. Quick. Gets a little bit of chip damage for it. Retake mostly coming through Heaven again. OG looking pretty established in this, so I'm kind of okay with this. Only B can take, I guess, first contact if needed. Problem is now losing that vision, going to keep him a little smothered here, going to force the others to face. And now Only B does get overwhelmed. Over just leaps in on the site. Oh, a sketchy spray down. It wasn't pretty. Lowell is there. And the defuse comes in. Now the flank's coming around, but timing is everything. He's still sticking the defuse. No one has stopped him yet.
Player standing.
And there's the defensive side picking it up.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, the worst gun for Onaby to have in that scenario when somebody's going to hop off Heaven with a Stinger as a Guardian. Miss the first shot, you're pretty much done for against a Stinger at that range. Again, just a brute force retake on the side of Heretics. No real... Look well poised at all. It was run in, find kills. Simple as that. The post plant not fantastic from OG, to be quite honest with you. Back down to frenzies and a ghost on the side of OG, and it's a big round now. This is for the Heretics to potentially hit double digits. Only be going to eat a shock dart actually fully there.
And at this point, it's hard to turn back away from hits like this, considering you've had no one watching your back. You could have a player God knows where, so...
Here.
Heretics seemingly all too aware. I'm going to send out the owl drone. Force the hand of the opponents. Now they've tried to pull some of their players back and use their own owl drone to clear back through middle so they could maybe have another option if required.
A little bit of hesitation, to be honest with you, is what it feels like. Yeah, OG now going to re-explore, I guess, once this smoke drops. Tom Bolt going to go in, hopefully give some information away, but there's two members of Heretics here that they have to deal with. And the response recon's even better. Lowell going to farm 3 kills there. Rubino going to find the last 2.
Oh, it's all called the bully hunters. That wasn't okay. 10 to 5. Double digits now achieved. And the money, well, at least OG get their goodbye. This is where they have to put up their stand, right? Like, if it's going to start, it has to start now. So, we'll see how this one looks when I've got pretty much everything they'd require. Now, on the other side, of course, still going to have the Spectres, even a Bulldog in this. Only Lowell really being the kind of instigator, so I wonder if Heretics maybe adjust a little something, go for something a bit unique. Might be the time to try it out. Nuki's going to probably get a little bit of info from this. Okay, yeah, decent info, actually. So, a little bit of a B lean, with one lurking middle, at least just from that boombot alone, is pretty good fact-finding.
I mean, the other thing to consider as well, 2 people have shot it. It wasn't just the one person to deal with it, so just little things like that will feed into Heretics' game plan for this round, at least.
You should run.
Lockdown going to get posted in B main. Avova just checking the corner there just to see if he had an opportunity to tuck into the back of sight, but does have to retreat all the way out. Looks like straight away though, Heretics looking to challenge towards mid-link.
They've gone this far, which is quite surprising they've been allowed to get that far. And yeah, Lowell's found Unco. This is... okay, they've got Jet in the off angle, I guess. That's something to maybe play with, but even now, smoked off. OG, these guns... hoping to keep people at range, but here comes that retake, kind of rolling in like a wave. You can see him clearing on the way through. They want to keep that side cornered off. They don't want any of that trouble from that corner, which is where Jet would be. Tivic's going to be the first one there. Avova offers himself up for the trade, which Rubino capitalizes on. And this is where it all falls apart, and now suddenly it doesn't look so good. That's 11 now on the board, and that was on the weaker buy.
Yeah, and in terms of economy, I mean, now the round score going to go to 11-5. That's a big win for Heretics to make the push to close this map out in convincing fashion, and it's been that from the start, to be honest with you, Lauren. OG looking as if they're struggling big time here, and I said before this game went live, this is going to be their biggest test.
Yep.
Seems it might be a little too much for them here on map 1 at least.
I think, again, some of the best learning you'll ever do will be through the official games rather than practice. I think for them right now, this is probably the best experience to have, is to go, well, okay, this didn't work, how do we change?
And through your worst losses as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this is the thing with OG. We saw what happened. They had one bad performance. They came back the next time we saw them, spanked a couple of good teams.
Yeah.
So they clearly learn quick. But I mean, this is Heretics' choice.
I was going to say, it speaks volumes for Heretics, though. The consistency, especially on this map alone. You're actually going to find Uncle there in mid. But it really does... Oh, Nuki. Please. That's the headshot onto AKM as well after the updraft.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god. They clean this one up as well. Vova going to find the last 2.
So I'm told. Yeah, 12-5.
Match point.
Scoreline is running away from the boys now, and you said it before, that money's not recovering by a good point, is it? I mean, Guardians, light armor, pistols. OG just fumbling a little here. Now, again, we don't know how they deal with other teams stylistically. We've seen them in very few matchups, very small sample size, and this is where we learn where they kind of stand on the kind of chain of things. If they're already getting to this point with their early foray into Valorant, this is really good overall. I mean, we can't take too much out of that, but it looks like a contact piece towards B for now. There is that Killjoy utility in the way. Here comes out the first bit of utility, at least from the attacking side. Turret's going to be there, going to swing out on it. There goes the wall, though. Now there's a player in a little bit of trouble. One player on their own. Lives are out, but no one to be found.
The problem here, again, Heretics playing this perfectly, anticipating the rush, not giving away a kill on entry. And actually, OG boxed up heavily towards site him. We know how difficult it is if you can't maintain control outside switch and outside market door. Reno going to send the recon bolt in. Nuki now breathing down OG's neck.
Here we go. Game on for the retake. Nice work from Nuki again. Does he just spam into the corner? No, he goes to the right side. So now with the wall down, let's see if he can maybe get only be dead. He does, but the trade's there. No worries. Two still stand. OG hold on this time.
Yeah, do or die round for them, but they are they're not able to make any more mistakes. They want to even this up and draw overtime. It's talk about tall orders. That's one of the tallest against Heretics on Ascent. The good thing is, though, I mean, only Bladestorm invested. So you got to credit OG there. Again, there wasn't this kind of desperation to secure that round and start popping ultimates unnecessarily. So they do still have a couple of tools at their disposal. There's one of them off the board immediately. And it's a spike.
Evidence. Oh, that's a problem. Lol's actually going to go ahead of the wall. They don't expect it, but they still pick it up. Element. Rifle locked and loaded. Okay for him. But it's Heretics from across the board. They're making this crunch. Look at the flank. Avova went all the way around the back. And now here we go. The stranglehold in full effect. AKM just had to watch his team got annihilated. He gets one, but it's all for nothing. 13-6. It's a clean win in the end here for Heretics.